have a sneaky peek at an early prototype of the next generation of the Big Bear Rail controller. The software is comprised of two parts, a service that runs in the background, and the visual part, that is now executed from any modern web browser. The service is the brain of the system, and must be running for the rail controller to perform even the most basic operations. It has been designed in a modular fashion. This will allow us to add new features and controller interfaces by supplying plugins, a bit like adding apps to your mobile phone. The new Big Bear builds on the best parts of the current system, the ease of use and intuitive front end, then combines these with the latest technologies and techniques. The system should run on most types of computer, not just a PC. In fact, it should be possible in theory to run it from a Raspberry Pi. Hopefully soon we will be able to show this in a demo. Okie dokie, let's run up the website. In the final product, this will be hidden in an app, but you could do this, if you wish. I type in a web address, and up comes Big Bear. This is an early view of the operating screen. You can see that we haven't implemented everything as yet. The clock is not ticking and buttons have placeholder legends. The throttle is very crude, and they're really to show potential layout. The slider goes up and down and the functions click, but none of the logic is in place to run trains, as yet. My main focus has been the track layout. To this end, we now have achieved end-to-end working of an accessory. I will show you how a turnout or signal now links to a live track item, on my own layout. I have already created a simple sample layout. To view it, I run the Big Bear service and it will appear on the screen. Here goes. In this prototype, I need to start the service by hand. In the final version, this will all be hidden from view. And here is my track diagram. This isn't my real layout, but a simple sample I put together for testing. The graphics are drawn using SVG icons, which means we can make them any size you like and they will always look sharp. We will also be able to control background colors in real time, good for highlighting and interlocking. Some of the graphics need attention. The platform colors are a bit dodgy, as you can see. We'll fix that, but for the time being the set of graphics are adequate for the purpose of a prototype. Just like in the original Big Bear, you click on points and signals to change their state. On a tablet or touch screen, you can use your finger. In this version I will ensure that all movements are achieved with a single finger, so making it much easier on touch displays. Notice also that when I click on some points, two actually move. Like the original Big Bear, any accessories with the same DCC address will change together, as if they are conjoined. Now for the layout editor. In the current Big Bear, we have a separate design tab. In the new version the tab has been ditched and replaced with a simple mode switch. Slide the switch to design mode, a grid appears and the throttle is replaced with a neat palette, broken down into logical sections. Just like Big Bear now, drag items from the palette to the grid. Double-click or double-tap to repeat the same item. Move things around, and to get rid of things, move them to the skip, which in this prototype is the green box under the palette. Just watch, while I make a few additions to the sample layout. Signals, points, and other accessory items may need assigning values, such as DCC addresses. Simply click or touch the item, while in design mode, and a relevant pop-up will prompt for whatever details are required for the particular item. When you are done, simply switch the mode switch back, then to return to operate mode. The grid will go away, and the throttle will reappear if you are using one. Note the background image. The new Big Bear supports background images, though I have not decided yet exactly how this will work. For now, the background is a faint image so as not to interfere with the track diagram. Now for a demonstration of the new Big Bear using a live layout, connected to an ancient, LocoNet controller. I will now pass you over to Peter, who will narrate the rest of this movie. Thank you for listening to me, and putting up with my robotic voice.
Welcome to the demo. As you can see on the screen, we actually have two copies of the Big Bear running, actually basically in two browsers. One's in Edge and the other's in Chrome. And one of the nice things about having it as a web browser is that you can actually have multiple copies of the Big Bear running at the same time. You can have as many as you want, which means you could potentially at a show, for example, you could actually have screens at both ends of a layout, and they update in real time. So if I click on one of the layouts, you can see that it actually will then update in real time on all of the other screens as well. So everything is up to date. And of course that means you could also zoom in on one screen to a particular area or scroll to a different part of the track. So if you did have a layout that was at a show, you could have Big Bear showing half of the layout at one end and half of the layout at the other. So we're now going to assign DCC address 16 to one of the points on the sample layout, and this corresponds to a point on my live layout itself. So we're just going to, so we click on the point, we assign 16, and then just going to have a little scan over to see where it actually is. Now with the resolution of my video, and the fact that I'm typing and using the camera at the same time, you're not going to be able to see the point change, but you will be able to hear it. So now I'm going to start clicking away on the operate screen, and you should be able to hear this point clicking away. So there we have it. We have the web browser containing the layout as it is so far, communicating with the server, and then that server then communicates with LocoNet, which then talks to the tracks. We have an end-to-end test, and everything is kind of fitting together, which means we can now go forward and start implementing some more complicated features. For example, we can actually start putting things like the locos in there and start controlling the locos. Thank you for watching the demo, and I'll catch you next time.